Right, welcome back. We are in the Stemme S12G in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. We have just turned our engine on, so our oil is a little bit cool, but it will soon be all right. And we are going to land at Viared airfield in Sweden, outside Borås. We're there. We are turning towards the airfield that is over there. Now, the manual states that you can land this aircraft with your throttle idle, and you should plan the landing accordingly. I have never seen anyone do this. There are probably someone who does, but the propeller clearance is so small you can't fit a shoe on there, so I would not recommend it myself. And also, when you land the aircraft, you are supposed to have the throttle on idle all the time, so you might as well turn off the engine and seat the propeller, land it as a glider, and then turn on the engine again and taxi to wherever you are going to park your aircraft. So this aircraft you land as a glider even though you have it in idle, so you might as well do it as a glider. So now we will transition into glider, and I have my checklist that you can download with the link below. We see here powered to glider. Throttle to idle. The propeller switch, this one, to take off. See, the RPM goes up. Airspeed approximately 54 knots. That's just below the orange triangle. So nose up, we'll trim it a little bit. The cowl flaps should stay open. Wait for oil temp to go under 100 degrees. We are at 78 degrees, so we're fine. 100 degrees Celsius, 212 degrees Fahrenheit, I should say. I need to trim a little bit so I don't have to. So I have to look at. Yeah, that's better. All right. Ignition off. Prop brake. We didn't have to use the prop brake because the prop stopped by itself. We can pull it and release it just for the sake of the checklist. Then we need to pull the prop positioning level, then this will drag the prop back into the fuselage. See? And I release it. Fuel shut-off valve closed, and I talked about this in the last video that I've never seen anyone do this. The manual states that you should do it, but it's back here, and I don't know how you were supposed to reach it. So we will leave that on if we need to start the engine again in an emergency. Electric as required. We can turn off the alternator, we turn off the engine switch. Cooling. We'll check how cold everything is. It's a cold day outside, it's just 1 degrees out here, so the engine is already cooled. But if you have a warm summer day, it can take several minutes, up to 10 minutes, for the aircraft to cool down. And during this time you should leave the cowl flaps and the nose cone open, but we can close those now. So we will close the nose cone and we will close the cowl flaps. Also, if you haven't seated the propeller properly, you can't close the nose cone because you will pinch the propeller, so it will just stop. Now we are a glider and we will prepare for our landing. Now, I haven't seen in the manual that you need to use a specific landing flaps or anything while landing, but you at approach you need to use flaps +5, and as from what I can read you can use flaps +5 all the way down, but I will use landing flaps because we don't have that long of a runway here. Parking brake is off, and as I have said in the other videos, the orange triangle here is your approach speed. The blue line is your best climb. The yellow arc is of course your flaps speeds, and the L is for your landing gear speed. I think this is what you need to know to do this, and I will use my checklist. Landing in glider config. Air brakes as required. Flaps landing. That is, let's see, approach. Landing pattern must be planned as to reach landing area. And this is how you fly gliders in a way. So transition into glider config. We've done that. Flaps +5. We have flaps +5. And during our approach we will try to keep our speed close to the orange triangle, and we adjust the speed with our speed brakes, as I say, or the spoilers. I will try not to move the view as much. So we are in the... When you fly a glider, you have an area where you must be at a certain height. You must be in this area, and then you just curve around in that area until you get to another height, and then you go out on the landing pattern. And we will do that because we are a little bit high, and I think we are supposed to be a little bit more to the side. It was some years ago that I flew here. I flew gliders in 2000, around beginning of the 2000s. So the rules may have changed a bit. We can take out some spoilers. I think we will do one turn and then do our landing pattern. Spoilers in. The adverse yaw in this aircraft is pretty significant, so you need to use your rudder when getting into a turn, getting out of a turn, turning, Okay, so now we are on the downwind leg, and we usually here we will call on the radio, but we won't do this because we are alone on this planet right now. All right, gear down. We have flaps +5, and I notice how I extended the downwind leg here because we were pretty high up anyway, and I think I will extend some more. So this is a very sloppy pattern by me, but you'll have to bear with me. We'll turn into base. Right about here. And final. Right about here. We are a little bit high on speed, so we will pull out the air brakes. We are on flaps. Go to landing flaps. See the speed are going down. I have to use some crabbing here to use the fuselage as a brake because I should have been a little bit lower. But that is okay. One thing to remember about gliders is the ground effect. It is significant on gliders in real life too. You could actually, well, I will talk about that after we have landed. Just let's have a clean cockpit here. Well, it's a landing. As soon as the speed goes down a little bit, you can start braking. Keep the stick max elevator and carefully brake. You don't want to dip the nose into the ground. So, right, here we are. Flaps up. 0. And now we would turn on the engine and taxi back to the parking spot. I just want to mention this about the ground effect. So you could, in a glider, you can actually come down here and land. Usually when you fly gliders at this airfield, we use the grass field here, and you could use the ground effect all the way back to the clubhouse. All right. I hope these 3 videos can help you to start flying this aircraft. I think it's kind of fun to fly it, and if I had the money, I would buy it in the real world. I really like it, and also you can download my checklist by following the link below. Have a nice day, and thank you for watching.